The year is 1504. Florence awakens under the golden rays of dawn, and so does one of history's greatest minds, Leonardo da Vinci. A man of boundless curiosity and unparalleled creativity, Leonardo's day is a fascinating blend of the extraordinary and the mundane. Today we'll live as he did, immersing ourselves in the Renaissance. Leonardo begins his day at dawn. His bed is simple, a wooden frame with a mattress stuffed with straw, a woolen blanket for warmth, and a pillow filled with straw or feathers. Beds in the Renaissance were supported by ropes, which needed regular tightening to prevent sagging, giving rise to the phrases "sleep tight." Wealthier homes often featured elaborately carved bed frames and curtains to block drafts, but Leonardo's modest lifestyle reflected his focus on his work rather than luxury. Without clocks to dictate time, Leonardo relied on natural light and the ringing of church bells to structure his day. The Renaissance had few mechanical clocks, and those were primarily found in public spaces or owned by the wealthy. Washing up is Leonardo's first task of the day. He uses a ceramic basin of water warmed over a fire in colder months to cleanse his face and hands. Soap in the Renaissance was a simple mixture of animal fats and ashes, often harsh on the skin. Wealthier households might add herbs like lavender or rosemary for a more pleasant scent. For his teeth, Leonardo uses a twig, likely from a mastic or licorice tree, frayed at the end to create natural bristles. He dips the twig in a mixture of crushed rosemary and mint to clean his teeth and freshen his breath. Toothpaste, as we know it, did not exist, but ashes, salt, or ground chalk were sometimes used for additional cleaning. Personal grooming is quick but effective. He combs his hair with a wooden or bone comb. Olive oil, a common household item, might be used to smooth his hair or add a touch of shine. When nature calls, Leonardo uses a chamber pot, a standard fixture in Renaissance homes. These simple ceramic or metal bowls were kept in the corner of a room and emptied into a cesspit or thrown into the streets, a reflection of the era's limited sanitation systems. For cleaning, scraps of rough cloth, moss or hay were commonly used in place of modern toilet paper. Public latrines existed in cities like Florence, but they were often unsanitary and shared by many. Breakfast is simple and light. Leonardo enjoys a slice of coarse bread baked in a communal oven and made from whole grains. Bread was a staple in Renaissance Italy, often produced by women at home or by professional bakers. He pairs the bread with fresh figs, a seasonal fruit, and a mug of almond milk or diluted wine. Almond milk, made by grinding almonds with water, was popular during fasting periods and among vegetarians like Leonardo. As he eats, Leonardo sketches in his notebook. These early morning moments are where inspiration strikes, and his keen observations of the natural world are translated into intricate drawings. Leonardo's day truly begins outdoors. Nature is his greatest teacher, and he spends his mornings observing birds, plants, and the movement of water. With his notebook always at hand, he captures every detail, from the curve of a leaf to the mechanics of a bird's flight. His fascination with water, a recurring theme in his work, led to detailed studies of its flow and turbulence, recorded meticulously in his notebooks. Mid-morning is devoted to invention. Leonardo works on a model of his ornithopter, a flying machine inspired by birds. He uses simple tools to test its mechanics and sketches his findings in his notebooks. Many of his designs, like this one, were never built during his lifetime, but they demonstrate a profound understanding of engineering and physics, centuries ahead of his time. Lunch is the main meal of the day. Leonardo's vegetarian diet is reflected in his choices. A bowl of lentil soup, flavored with garlic and rosemary, served alongside coarse bread and olives. For dessert, he enjoys dried figs or a handful of almonds. Lentils were a common source of protein for vegetarians, and olives, often preserved in brine, were a staple in Italian cuisine. Meals in the Renaissance were not only practical but also communal, offering a chance to engage in conversation. The afternoon is dedicated to painting. Leonardo focuses on his masterpiece, blending light and shadow using his signature sfumato technique to create depth and realism. The pigments he uses are ground from minerals, plants, or insects and mixed with a binder like egg yolk or oil. Painting required immense patience, as each layer had to dry before the next was applied. Later, Leonardo turns to anatomy. He studies previously dissected human bodies or animals, sketching their intricate structures with astonishing precision. His dissections, though controversial, were groundbreaking and laid the foundation for modern medical illustration. As evening approaches, Leonardo enjoys a light supper. A bowl of barley soup, flavored with sage and garlic, is accompanied by a piece of leftover bread. Barley was a versatile grain in Renaissance cooking, used in soups, porridges, and breads. Dinner was often a simple and modest affair compared to lunch. By candlelight, Leonardo writes in his notebooks, filling pages with sketches, observations, and philosophical musings. He writes in mirror script, a technique that could only be read correctly in a mirror. While some believe this was for secrecy, others suggest it was simply easier for his left-handed writing style. His candles, made from tallow or beeswax, cast flickering shadows on the pages, a quiet end to a productive day. To unwind, Leonardo plays the lyre. His musical talent was well known, and he often performed for friends and patrons. Music was an integral part of Renaissance culture, seen as a form of intellectual and emotional expression. Leonardo ends his day, as he began it, with reflection. Gazing at the stars through his window, he ponders the mysteries of the universe. His polyphasic sleep schedule, consisting of short naps throughout the day, allows him to dedicate more waking hours to his endless curiosity. In the stillness of the night, the genius rests, ready to rise again with the dawn. Through his daily life, Leonardo da Vinci reminds us that curiosity, observation, and creativity are timeless. To live like Leonardo is to see the world not just as it is, but as it could be.